Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. An Elmira Elementary School class was transported back 150 years at the Browntown Schoolhouse Experience. Our Maggie Hall documented the trip that the Heritage Village takes students on.
From the second they step off the bus, students are transported to the times of one-room schoolhouses and horse and buggies. For one day, they get to don overalls, skirts, aprons, and bonnets, and are schooled in the authentic one-room Browntown schoolhouse.
Yeah, it's different, but it's cool.
Well, I mean, I certainly do like the design and all the fun stuff.
Students were taught about how girls and boys were treated differently back then, but the girls were reminded that now they can do and be whoever they want.
Girls weren't treated like boys were, like for jobs and stuff. Because like girls could only like work on farms, and if they were really lucky, they could be a teacher or something. But I don't think that was fair.
The students sit at historically accurate desks while being taught by a teacher from the Heritage Village of the Southern Finger Lakes.
I like where I sit, and the teacher's very nice.
You don't have to be in elementary school to visit the Heritage Village. You can plan you and your family's visit today by calling 607-937-5281. This experience gives kids a chance to live in the late 1800s for a day while learning historical material about their community. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
A burn ban will be in effect soon in the Southern Tier. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation implements the ban on March 16th. That ban is in place to prevent brush and large-scale fires during times of year when it's particularly windy or dry. Don't worry, you can still have your summer s'mores. The burn ban does not apply to backyard fire pits and campfires. Cat owners in Corning can now have their pets spay or neutered for free. The City of Corning and Chemung County SPCA teamed up to bring this program to Corning as a result of the rising stray cat population. Cat owners looking to take advantage of this new program can register through the city clerk's office. A Corning library has finished renovating the new look for their children's section, all in honor of a late volunteer. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg was at the ribbon cutting today to join in on the celebrations.
The Southeast Steuben County Library unveiled the newly renovated Children's Center earlier today in honor of Mary Lou Walker. Mary Lou Walker was a longtime library volunteer and renowned children's singer-songwriter. Mary Lou performed her songs to thousands of children during her time with the Southeast Steuben County Library. Shortly after Mary Lou's passing, the Walker family came together to find a way to honor their mother.
We wanted to do something not only for her honor, but for the community. And so my brothers and I, who are very close, brothers and sisters and I, who are very close, got together and we talked about a whole bunch of different ways that we thought we could do something for the community and for her legacy. And we chose the Corning Library because it was her favorite place to perform.
The new children's room took around 2 years to complete and over $600,000 in donations and grant money.
I think now more than ever there needs to be community spaces for people where people from all backgrounds, all ages, all demographics come together, all economic standings. There needs to be spaces in our world, in our communities, that allow for people to come together, and a library is one of them.
Mom was an amazing person who loved the community, loved the children that she sang and performed for. And to see what has transformed from a dingy, dark kind of a children's room to this very bright, lively place where children can come and play and sing and be creative, we are just amazed.
The Mary Lou Walker Children's Room is having an open house all of next week to encourage people to see the new room and to honor Mary Lou's legacy. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Corning.
The February jobs report is out today, and it shows employers added more than 300,000 jobs last month. Caroline Shively reports that's great news for workers, but it could mean the Fed is gearing up for another interest rate hike as they try to get a grip on inflation.
I think we got a good jobs report.
President Biden reacting to the February unemployment number on Friday.
On news, the economy added 311,000 jobs.
Today's job numbers is clear. Our economy is moving in the right direction.
That number is higher than economists predicted, but the wage growth of 0.2% is a slight dip from January.
I see this really as more of a mixed news report.
Despite cooling wage hikes, a hotter than expected labor market can still feed inflation, putting pressure on Federal Reserve members to raise interest rates once again at their meeting March 22nd, following months of substantial hikes.
This probably makes the Fed a little more cautious about doing 50 basis points instead of 25 basis points, but they're going to hike for a while.
We're going to whip it.
This comes one day after the president presented his budget proposal for the 2024 fiscal year. It adds $2.6 trillion in new spending over the next 10 years, but brings in $5.5 trillion more in revenue thanks to tax hikes on the wealthy. It's also dead on arrival in the Republican-controlled House.
And what does this budget do? Raise more taxes, spends more money.
There's no making sense of what he's saying because it is economically illiterate.
Now the White House says it's time for House Republicans to come out with their own budget proposal. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Mortgage rates are up for the 5th week in a row. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage now averaging 6.73%. That's up 8 basis points from the previous week. The average rate on the 15-year mortgage rose to 5.95%. Freddie Mac's weekly report on mortgage rates is based on thousands of applications received from lenders across the country. Mexico's president is dismissing claims that Mexican drug traffickers are responsible for the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. His comments come as Congress struggles to mitigate the problem. Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
Fentanyl deaths are climbing in the U.S., a crisis that institutions like Congress and the DEA are struggling to tackle. Now, one international leader is placing blame on the U.S., suggesting fentanyl is the country's problem. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador reportedly said Mexico does not produce the drug, adding, "We do not have consumption of fentanyl." His statement directly contradicts the intelligence community's assessment that most fentanyl is smuggled across the U.S.-Mexico border.
We've transformed our approach at the agency to how we look at this issue, to focus on networks, meaning precursor chemicals, financial flows.
Republican lawmakers are calling for tougher actions after 2 Americans were killed and 2 others were kidnapped by a drug cartel in Mexico. They're pushing for cartels to be classified as terrorist organizations.
They've declared war on the American people through the use of fentanyl and other terrorist tactics. I want to declare war on them.
As federal agencies try to stem the flow of fentanyl, organizations like the Florida Harm Reduction Collective are taking other steps, like showing spring breakers how to administer Narcan in the case of an emergency.
People are taking opioids and they don't realize that they're taking an opioid. They don't realize that maybe they're consuming fentanyl in their cocaine or a different type of drug supply.
The White House says border officials have been seizing fentanyl at historic levels because of what the administration has done to secure the border. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Your complete weekend forecast is next. Plus this.
Will pumping carbon dioxide below the ground help combat the ongoing climate crisis? I'm Jackie Ibanez with a look at some of the innovative strategies tackling greenhouse gas emissions. It's all straight ahead.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm meteorologist Sam Ryan. Be aware, heading out the door here Saturday morning, we still have a winter weather advisory in effect until 7 a.m. We might see that expired, but some slick spots out there, especially go up in elevation. Going to run into that. We have some overnight snow, picking up another inch or 2. Tapers early in the morning. Still few lingering light snow showers or flurries in parts as the whole system moves on out. We'll have a breezy wind developing out of the northwest throughout the evening and then diminishing by Saturday night. Oh, and don't forget, flip those clocks ahead 1 hour going to bed Saturday night. As we wake up Sunday morning, we have the beginning of daylight saving. We're going to have a quiet day in store for us on Sunday with lighter winds and milder temperatures. And then looking ahead, we have the potential here. It looks like a nor'easter will form sometime early to middle part of the week. Could have an impact here and across the whole Northeast. Going to see many power outages, no doubt. Have some heavy snowfall potential, strong winds and rain. Of course, you know the drill. 32 degrees at midnight, 30 at 3 a.m., 28 at 6 a.m. Again, winds picking up out of the northwest. So we head out the door. We'll be around 28 degrees. Slick spots present. 1 to 2 inches additional here for the overnight and into our Saturday morning. And then we'll have that all tapering off by around 8, 9 a.m. and then clearing on out shortly after that. Just lingering cloud cover. And then we'll should see a little more sunshine for the day Sunday. We have high pressure building overhead. And I want to show you the big picture because we have this wave off to the west. So that's going to come through along with it, a piece of energy down here in the south. So they're separated as they're moving east. And then they come together in phase and they park themselves right off the coast. That's where we get the nor'easter here. And by Monday and into Tuesday. So 28 degrees, 7 a.m., 32 here Saturday at noon, 32 at 5 p.m. Winds breezy out of the northwest. And we'll see those gusting up to around 25 miles per hour. Nothing too strong. 43 for a high Sunday as those winds diminish. So seasonable temperatures. Now, as we put everything together for that 7-day forecast, once again, 1 to 2 inches of snow additional here overnight. Some slick spots tomorrow morning. 35 though for a high. Then down to 21 Saturday night. Sunday, the winds relax. We have high pressure overhead, 43 degrees before our next system, that nor'easter, starts to come together. Could get a wintry mix in here, possibly changing over to accumulating snow Monday night and into Tuesday. And we'll have light snow chances on and off. And the details here are highly uncertain yet with the track, the strength, how everything comes together, and even the timing. All will have big impacts on the forecast. So expect this to change undoubtedly as we head through next week.
To help reduce the amount of greenhouse gas emissions up in the atmosphere, researchers are looking deep below the Earth for solutions. Jackie Ibanez takes a look at some innovative projects aimed at reducing the impacts of climate change.
The Environmental Protection Agency says carbon dioxide and methane are some of the primary greenhouse gases behind the ongoing climate crisis. And while they're released into the atmosphere when we burn fossil fuels, the EPA says they're also leaking from the millions of abandoned gas and oil wells across the country.
In Colorado, there are upwards of 500 orphan wells.
Now, lawmakers in Colorado are seeking a solution that could be implemented nationwide, and it lies in a product called biochar.
We take non-merchantable waste wood, either dead trees or forest fire debris. We put it through a chemical reaction and we convert it into pure carbon.
Government leaders are now considering whether to use biochar to seal off the wells, citing its potential to act like a filter and prevent carbon dioxide and methane emissions from escaping.
We have now started to inject the first CO2.
Meanwhile, overseas, leaders in Denmark have ordered carbon dioxide to be pumped into an empty oil reservoir below the North Sea. CO2 gas from a plant in Belgium is being shipped to the injection site in liquid form. In the future, carbon dioxide from Denmark and other European countries will also be pumped below the seabed. To limit global warming this century to 1.5 degrees Celsius, as set by the Paris Climate Agreement, a report from the Coalition for Negative Emissions says 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide must be removed from the atmosphere by 2025.
An IRS rule has Twitter abuzz. Porsche is taking glamping to a whole new level, and some new treats to celebrate National Ranch Dressing Day. CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Twitter users slamming the IRS for an arbitrary rule requiring thieves to report stolen income. The rule states if you steal property, you must report its fair market value in your income in the year you steal it, unless in the same year you return it to its rightful owner. One Twitter user joking, "Don't forget to fill out a 1099 after a game of Monopoly." Porsche teaming up with Airstream on the design for a 16-foot-long luxury camping trailer. It can be towed by an electric vehicle. It features a dining space that turns into a full bed, complete with a kitchenette and storage space. No word on how much it's going to cost. Hendrick's releasing its latest limited edition gin in its Cabinet of Curiosities portfolio. Flora Adora, the company says, has an aroma of enchanting flowers and finishes with a fresh herbal character that's classically Hendrick's in style. Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream is coming to Walmart. Starting March 20th, ranch lovers can get their fix for dessert for $5 a pint. The company says it's best paired with something salty like crushed potato chips. And if that wasn't enough, you can now wash your hands with ranch. That's right, Wingstop has teamed up with Buff City Soap to debut a ranch-scented soap available for a limited time. Finally, listen to this. For the first time since 1987, vinyl records outselling CDs. Sales rising 17% last year, according to the Recording Industry of America. About 41 million vinyl albums were sold in 2022, compared with about 33 million CDs. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
Still ahead, more and more high school grads are opting out of college. A look at why many are questioning the future of higher education coming up. For many people, going to college after high school is a no-brainer. But with the cost of higher education running sky high, and after finishing their last years of high school during a worldwide pandemic, data is showing many teens are starting to pursue careers that don't need a college degree. Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look.
The future of higher education could be a rocky one. The National Student Clearinghouse finds college enrollment across the country declined by 6% from 2019 to 2022. It's the steepest drop on record since 2018, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
I was like, yeah, this isn't it for me.
Hundreds of thousands of young adults who finished high school during the course of the pandemic are opting out of college, citing obscenely high costs and not wanting to get into crippling debt.
I was seeing so many people go to college and dropping out, not making it, and they were getting degrees that they weren't even using.
Instead, many are forging their own paths.
As the economy is booming and there are jobs available, the students do tend to go into the workplace, especially post-pandemic. What we're seeing is that students can't seem to resist sign-on bonuses and wages that far exceed any that they've seen before.
And while some may eventually pursue college in the future, people like Grayson Hart are currently landing jobs doing what they love. Hart is directing theater at a local program in Jackson, Tennessee, a year after graduating high school.
A college degree hasn't pushed me any farther, and it's not holding me back from any of it. So why do I want to put in all the money to get a piece of paper that really isn't going to help in what I'm doing right now?
Meanwhile, researchers at the Education Data Initiative report the average student racks up more than $30,000 in debt while trying to earn a bachelor's degree.
For many women, daycare that's located right at their workplace would be a dream come true. And it now appears that dream might be closer to becoming reality. A report by the Wall Street Journal says new government incentives and the desire by companies to recruit and keep workers could make the benefit more common. According to Best Place for Working Parents, a network of businesses promoting family-friendly practices, roughly 11% of its members provided on-site childcare between April of 2021 and last September. That's up from about 9% in 2020. A toy set is being recalled after being linked to the deaths of 2 children. The recall involves more than 3 million Calico Critter flocked animal figures and sets. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, a pacifier and bottle accessories sold with the set posed a serious choking hazard. Those child deaths happened in New Mexico and Japan. The toys were sold at retailers including Walmart and Amazon. The Consumer Product Safety Commission recommends consumers take away the product from children immediately and to contact the company, Epic Everlasting Toys, for instructions to receive a free replacement accessory. Stay with us. We'll have more after the break. We want to leave you with a smile. With daylight saving time taking away an hour of sleep, Denny's is offering free coffee to help customers adjust. The chain is giving Rewards program members a digital coupon for a free cup of coffee to start your Monday. Customers who want to receive the perk can sign up for the program on their website. Denny's coffee giveaway is also part of their 70-year anniversary. I'm Scott Beadle. Thanks so much for watching.